Hey guys, welcome back to MU Sports TV. Manchester United have lost yet another Europa League final, back-to-back finals. That is, remember they lost the 2021 final against Villarreal in penalty shootout. They've lost again in 2025 after a 1-0 defeat against Premier League rival Tottenham Hotspurs, who I think have now gone 4 games unbeaten against Manchester United this season. Uh, it's another history for broken by Amorim's side this season. Yet another one broken this season. And yeah, so I'm just going to mention some few things that I thought needs to be addressed because read some articles, I've read some news or post by some of the biggest media pages and fan pages, and they're talking about what happened yesterday. It was expected that United are going to win because they have the momentum. They were unbeaten in the Europa League this season. They never lost a single match. Coming into this game, they were prepared. They had players who I think we thought could do some things like try to change the game. Amad Diallo, Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, all these players were the engine of Manchester United. And I said it yesterday that if Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, and Amad Diallo are going to have a good game, United are going to win. But if they will have I can say a bad game, it will be difficult for Manchester United to win this tie. And yes, it is what happened yesterday. Bruno Fernandes was below. It was below. Amad Diallo was below. Casemiro tried, but overall, the attacking force of Manchester United yet again have failed against a Premier League side. Yesterday it was all about Premier League. It was just a Premier League being played out of England, and the issue I had with yesterday's match is the selection. In the first time I saw the 11, I thought of what is Amorim planning? What is in his mind? Is this the same lineup is going against Spurs, or maybe there's some changes we are going to see in the match? But the moment the whistle blown the first time, the first half, I saw how they lined up, show as a LCB. Then I saw Bruno Fernandes deep in midfield, partnering with Casemiro. And then I realized, and I say, what, this is a mistake by Ruben Amorim. Remember, this is Tottenham Hotspurs you are playing against, not Bilbao, not Lyon, not Real Sociedad, not even the likes of Bordeaux or even Victoria Pleasant. You are playing against Tottenham Hotspurs, the team that has beaten you 3 times this season and twice as a manager. That is Ruben Amorim. And the mistake he made yesterday was picking Rasmus Højlund as a striker, being that Højlund has been having a terrible season. And this is a very important match that you don't want to have any issues, related to player performance. You want your best players into this final. Why did Manchester United lose the Europa League final? It is all about the preparation, the determination. Talk about Ange. When he reached the semi-final of the Europa League, he decided to stop playing his best centre backs in the Premier League against Liverpool, against Nottingham Forest, against the likes of Palace, against Aston Villa. He never played Mickey and Cuti Romero. He never played Vicario for the last 3 matches. Why? Because he had a plan. He didn't want any issues happening with his defenders, because he was taking this cup or competition seriously. Because as far as they are concerned, the matter of Premier League was done. They are 17th now in the league, and they needed this trophy more than we did. But if you look at Ruben Amorim when he was preparing for the final, it was just normal. It was normal to him because I remember the fans were saying, what, let's concentrate on the Premier League, on the Europa League, play the youths in the Premier League. Even Amorim himself, he said he's going to play the youth, but he never did that. We only saw minutes given to Harry Amaz and Tyler Fredrickson in some matches, but that never happened. And that led to a delict injury after he returned. Actually, he returned against Brentford. He was injured. That leads to Lenny Yoro being injured again, but somehow he returned before the final. So the preparation, Ange prepared his team for this game. Ruben Amorim, I don't think he prepared his team for this game because I think I saw Luke Shaw against Chelsea, and then I saw Rasmus Holland against Chelsea. Those performance against Chelsea on Friday was enough not to start Luke Shaw, Rasmus Holland against Tottenham Hotspurs in a final. The last time Manchester United won against a Premier League side was on 17th March, and that was a relegated team. The last time United won against a non-relegated side in the Premier League was in 26th March, I think, against Fulham. So United somehow under Ruben Amorim have found it difficult to win against Premier League side, and when the final was set up against Spurs, I thought maybe Ruben Amorim is going to figure out how to win against Premier League side, how to score the goal, because the problem with Manchester United and Ruben Amorim against Premier League side is always about scoring goals. That has been the problem. The first day he arrived against Ipswich Town, we've had chances, but we've failed to take the chances, and that is the issue that I thought maybe Ruben Amorim had 14 days to sort out this issue against Premier League sides. He had 14 days to figure out how to score goals against a Premier League side, but he ended up playing Rasmus Højlund as a striker, the person who was called out against Chelsea. He did nothing against Chelsea actually, and you pick him against Spurs. Okay, I'll forgive him for, or rather, the fans might forgive him for starting Luke Shaw and Rasmus Højlund against Spurs. The first half was poor from United, and it led to the winning goal by Brennan Johnson. Luke Shaw had a poor start of the game. Actually, he did. He was really nervous. He didn't know how to do what to do with the ball, and he caused some problems there for Lenny Yoro and Maguire. So after watching that disaster first half of the match yesterday, I thought Ruben Amorim needs to win this match, and I said it. If Ruben Amorim needs to win this match, he needs to make his substitution fast and quick as possible. I was expecting to see Luke Shaw, Højlund, and Mason Mount out even before the 50th minute. If you are a manager, you want to win a match, you don't sit down and hope for miracles. Ruben Amorim just decided to sit down because now Spurs were playing deep and now United were attacking. Amorim decided to relax and calm down. He was hoping for a miracle, but you know very well, you know your team very well. You know how poor your team is when it comes to scoring goals. What you need to do is to try and change things. You know, I was even surprised that Spurs was the first team to make a substitution, and I was hoping that United would be the first team to make substitution against Spurs. And early as 55th minute was the time I thought maybe it's time to bring in Alejandro Garnacho. In fact, Mason Mount in the first half, he was nowhere to be seen. I don't think I saw him maybe twice or thrice, but Mason Mount had a difficult time against Spurs in the first half, same as Luke Shaw and same as Rasmus Højlund. And I was expecting to see changes immediately the second half started. I was expecting to see Alejandro Garnacho in for Mason Mount, Joshua Zirkzee in for Højlund, and Eden Heaven in for Luke Shaw. That never happened. And I think I was surprised to see that Ruben Amorim made his first substitution in the 71st minute. Yes, he did a double substitution in the 71st minute where he brought Alejandro Garnacho for Mount, then he brought Zirkzee for Højlund. The 71st minute is when you're making your first substitution, and you are down, and the same players are not playing well. I think um, somehow Alejandro Garnacho might be furious because he waited until the 71st minute to be brought on, because the moment he came in. I think Alejandro Garnacho did more in the 20 minutes than what Mason Mount did in 71 minutes. So one thing Ruben Amorim needs to learn, that this is the Premier League. Somehow Ruben Amorim knows how to win against teams outside England. He needs to learn. He needs to find a way of winning games against teams in England, because he is in the Premier League. Next season, Manchester United have no European football, no Champions League football, no Europa League football, no UEFA Conference League football. It is the Premier League, the FA Cup, and the Carabao. All these competitions are against English sides. But if you can't win against English sides, then next season for Ruben Amorim it's going to be difficult, because this season we can't blame him. He came in mid-season, he plays different formation, different system. The players doesn't understand the system yet, and next season he's going to have like a 1 month pre-season. He's going to have his new players arriving. He's going to have 1 month and some weeks preparation for next season. So for next season, if Amorim will not figure out how to win against Premier League sides, I think if this poor performance it's going to extend to next season, I think Ruben Amorim will not finish next season as a Manchester United manager. But I have this thing in mind. Watching Manchester United games, it is all about the players. It is not about the manager. You see, they really try. Yesterday against Spurs, we had chances, but those chances somehow we did not find a way of converting those chances to goals. Spurs actually, I need to see this. Spurs only had one shot on target the entire 90 minutes plus 7 against Manchester United. One shot on target. United had 6 shots on target. Spurs had only 3 shots overall against Manchester United yesterday. 2 blocked, 1 on target. United had around 16 shots, 6 on target, 6 off target, and 4 locked. 73% of possession for Manchester United. Goalkeeper saves. And Onana had no saves because Spurs, the only chance they got, they scored. Vicario had 5 saves for Spurs yesterday, and this is what a goalkeeper should do to you. Looking at Onana, yesterday's goal was about Onana and Luke Shaw, but let's not forget this. It all started with a sloppy pass by Bruno Fernandes. Yesterday, as I was said earlier, Bruno Fernandes was, I think he had a poor performance, to be honest with you. You were expecting something spectacular from him as a captain who wants to win this trophy. But somehow his performance did not portray what a captain performance should be. His pass led to the Spurs' first goal. Sloppy pass, build up, cross by Sarr in that box where Harry Maguire, Luke Shaw, and Dogu were there. And my surprise, somehow Johnson managed to skip past Dogu and Luke Shaw and sneak the ball past Andre Onana. These are the smallest scenarios where you expect your goalkeeper to save you. David De Gea used to do this for Manchester United. We had these moments where if Andre Onana were in goal, I think United could have been relegated before, because David De Gea used to make these saves, these important saves that won United games, and did not lead to, to any embarrassment. But for Anto Nana is somebody, I think, the goalkeeper you can't rely on, to save you in some matches, because his reaction is slow. The way he reacted to that goal is somehow slow. And next season, if United really want to be competitive, I think there are a lot that needs to be done. If the board wants to be competitive, a lot needs to be done. You can't tell me that you want to win trophies, you want to win the Premier League, you want to qualify for the Champions League, and your goalkeeper can't make these crucial saves that can define the match. And somehow, Luke Shaw managed to stay fit for 3 months and decided to throw away the game yesterday. I saw some comment by the fan that how did Luke Shaw manage to stay fit for three months, because this is so unusual for Luke Shaw. He always comes from injury, play one game, then gets injured, but somehow he has managed to stay fit for 3 months now without being injured. And Amorim needed to understand something from Luke Shaw. Luke Shaw is slow. At the moment, he's slow. He's not the Luke Shaw we knew seasons ago. And Luke Shaw playing as a left centre back was a mistake. Okay, in the Premier League, we are already done with it. So Luke Shaw playing at the LCB in the Premier League, I had no problem with that. But Luke Shaw playing as a left centre back against Spurs in the final, what was that all about? He decided to start leaning Euro, who missed the Chelsea game through injury, but did not see it possible, or he did not see the importance of starting Eden Heaven ahead of Luke Shaw. Eden Heaven was good. He was outstanding before his injury against Leicester. He returned back against Chelsea, and I think that was enough for him to be started uh, against Spurs. Okay, if he decided that maybe Eden Heaven is not fit enough, why don't we start Mazaraoui deep in that defense, then play Dogu and Amaz? I tell you what, Amaz is a good defender, and seeing that we can't trust sometimes we can't trust these young players is so devastating. Arsenal trusted MLS Lewis Kelly. Mikel Arteta trusted Lewis Kelly. He gave him minutes. He proved his worth. I think we need to be giving these young players chances, and this is what I was expecting from Ruben Amorim in the Premier League, since we have been since the Premier League was done. I was expecting him to be giving these young players chances in the Premier League with the hope that they can be involved in the final against Spurs. But as I said earlier, it has been done. Nothing we can say, do now that we can change the fact that Manchester United lost yesterday against Spurs, and this team, 2024-2025 season is the worst Manchester United side in history. Period. There's nothing you're going to tell me that can change my mind from the fact that this is the worst Manchester United side in history, finishing 16th, 17th. They can even finish 17th next week on Sunday. They can lose against Aston Villa and Spurs win. They finish 17th, three positions above three positions, only three positions above or or on top of the relegation clubs. This is the worst. It was even during David Moyes, LVG, Jose Mourinho, Ole Gunnar, Ralf Rangnick, Erik ten Hag. They never finished below number 10 or below 12. They finished 16th, 17th, possibility of 17th against or on Sunday. Bottled the Europa League final after going unbeaten throughout the campaign. Bottled the FA Cup, bottled the Carabao Cup, For what? For this performance? Embarrassing. Embarrassing. And these players, they are now mourning. Bruno Fernandes is mourning. Orlando Ganato is mourning. It's not time to mourn. It's time to look yourself in the mirror and said, we played nonsense yesterday. We played nothing. Bruno Fernandes is mourning that if the board wants to sell him for money, blah blah blah. And his brother is mourning there, blah blah blah. No, these players are mourning as if they were better yesterday. Bruno Fernandes, in fact, you played poor yesterday against Spurs. That the last thing I could hear from I should hear from him is mourning about the fact that if the club wants to sell him, they can sell him. That's the last thing I want to hear from him. I want to hear an apology as a captain. You need to apologize for your poor performance in the biggest game in in your embarrassing season. But instead of apologizing, you are mourning. Okay, I know Bruno Fernandes has been the best signing for Sir Alex Ferguson era, but I think it's best time United cash on him. The Saudi clubs are interested in Bruno Fernandes. If they bring something like 70, 80 million, why not? Why can't you spend 80? Why can't you sell Bruno Fernandes for 80 million and spend 20 million on Ryan Sheki? We've had Mateus Cunha, Ryan Sheki, and then use the remaining 60 million and sign Ederson uh, Atalanta. We can sell Bruno Fernandes for 80 million and spend that money and sign Ederson and Ryan Sheki. Bruno Fernandes is, I think, he has tried his best, and sometimes it's annoying. Like yesterday, to be honest with you, it was annoying. He was sloppy, and I think it's time for United to make changes, and these changes, some will be painful for the fans, because seeing players like Bruno Fernandes go to be painful. Seeing players like Alejandro Garnacho go, because I tell you what, after that poor performance and the outrage and those comments made by Alejandro Garnacho's brother and also made by Alejandro Garnacho himself, saying that he's played every round and the final he plays only 20 minutes. He's asking how. Alejandro Garnacho, you've been given chances, but the manager, in fact, you should be grateful, because I tell you what, in other teams, look at Man City, Phil Foden. Phil Foden nowadays against for Man City never have these chances. But you are here at Manchester United playing, missing chances game in, game out. You've been given time and the minutes by the manager. Instead of being appreciative, you are mourning. You are given 20 minutes as a professional footballer. If you know you are good enough, even 5 minutes is enough for you to change the game. You had 20 minutes. What did you do in those 20 minutes, Alejandro Garnacho? Did you change the game, or do you want the whole 90 minutes for you to change the game? Ruben Amorim was right not to start Alejandro Garnacho in the first half, but he was wrong for sticking with Mount until the 71st minute. That was the only thing he did wrong. But starting with Alejandro Garnacho, not starting with him was not a mistake. And Alejandro Garnacho and his brother should stop mourning. His brother doesn't mourn when he missed chances. When Alejandro Garnacho missed chances, I don't think his brother even talks. But whenever he did this during the Ten Hag era, his brother was mouthy. Again yesterday he was mouthy. So I think this is Manchester United. And if you think you're big now, you feel like you're the biggest one in the club. I think nobody is bigger than the club. Alejandro Garnacho, if you don't change your attitude, I think it's time for you to pack your bags and leave United. You and your brother. You can go to Chelsea if you want, go to Napoli, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid. But this kind of attitude is what we don't want at Manchester United. We want players who want to give it all without crying on social media. This happened with Sancho, and this brought his downfall at Manchester United, and his career to end at Manchester United. And this is not what I want. If the manager says something, you don't react on social media. Ruben Amorim was asked why he started with uh, uh, if it was a mistake to start with Mason Mount ahead of Alejandro Garnacho, and he said it is easy to talk now because who missed a chance against Bilbao in the second leg in the final? Alejandro Garnacho. He missed it. He missed the chance. He missed against Leon in the second leg in the quarterfinals. So it is easy to say now because if he started with the Alejandro Garnacho and somehow Alejandro Garnacho had a poor performance and he brought in Mount and Mount had a good performance, it will be the reverse question. Why did you start with Garnacho ahead of Mount? And Alejandro Garnacho, instead of taking this settlement as a motivation, he decided to throw his emotions in saying that he's played every round and comes the finals, is only given 20 minutes. 20 minutes is enough to change to change something. If you are a good footballer, you claim you are. Lewandowski scored 5 goals in 9 minutes. You are given 20 minutes. What do? I'll stand with Ruben Amorim no matter what. So any player who thinks is bigger than Ruben Amorim, who thinks is smarter than the manager, who thinks is bigger than the club, they should leave. They should leave. And we don't want fans who are crying on show media begging the players to stay. Alejandro Garnacho is a good footballer, but he is over himself. He is ahead of, like, he thinks that, okay, he's seeing himself as a star. Not yet. He is not yet there. You know, when you see Lamine Yamal, he always talk on social media, but he proved his talks, and when you see Manchester United, they have players who thinks they are better. That somehow they are not. Imagine Alejandro Garnacho. When you compare Alejandro Garnacho to players like Anthony Elanga, I'll have Elanga any day, any minute. Trust me. So next season things need to happen at Manchester United. No mercy. If the fans want to, I don't think real Manchester United fans will mourn if we see players like Bruno Fernandes, Alejandro Garnacho leaving the club. It's time now. So if the right offer comes in for Alejandro Garnacho, I think it will be accepted. If the right offer comes in for Bruno Fernandes, there's a chance he will go. But it's not just about them going, it's about who comes in. We need players. And one mistake that should not be done is signing Liam Delap as a striker for next season. If we are going to end up with Liam Delap next season, then season 2 is coming. At the moment, we are waiting for the season to end. I'm not even going to watch the game against Aston Villa. Trust me. I'd rather watch hockey if there will be any, or maybe cricket, or just sleep on Sunday. Yesterday was the last game I watched until the preseason starts in July. At the moment, I'll just be updating you guys on the latest news in the transfer market. Remember, the transfer window is being opened twice. 1st June to 10th June for the Club World Cup. Then again, I think in July until August. So guys, that's all from now from MU Sports TV. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.